Hello, this is Dylan Moore, and this is my report for Lab 1 of CPSC4550. So we're just going to start off in part 1, which is Introduction to Wireshark. It gives you, pretty much a rundown of what a packet sniffer is, how it's structured, a good idea of how it works, kind of some examples of the protocols that you'll see in there. And it kind of explains how the layers work, and how the different it'll understand where it'll kind of teach you what the get, the post, the head, and the different things that you'll kind of look for in the in Wireshark when you start using it. So going ahead and getting into the question answering for part 1. We're going to start right here. So it says start up your favorite web browser, which will display your selected home page. And actually first, we're going to keep moving. Okay. So we're going to start up Wireshark. I've already got it going over here. And this is some of my older stuff, so we'll go ahead and reset that, apply nothing to that, so you'll see all the packets that it's catching coming through. And so yeah, so we've got this running, or here we'll start this running actually. We're going to continue with that saving. Yes, we want to allow. And here it is. We've got it started. This is showing you all the packets that it is taking a look at and capturing, and it matches up with all of this, and you can see how it works, and it explains it pretty perfectly. And right here, we've got your packet display. And then down here is the content, and here it says what we got to do is we got to click here and have the page displayed in the browser, and it will show up there. But first, we're going to do this. We're going to open link in a new window, and there we go. That link's been opened. And it says after your browser has displayed it, after it's been displayed, we're good to go on that. So now we're going to type HTTP up here at the top, because that will kind of hone in on the protocol that we're looking for. And as you can see, it's run some other GET requests and other responses on the sides here. A lot of them are 200 okay, so that means they were successfully returned. And up here you got like 404 not found, which is an error message. But basically we get into this and we find our GET requests that came from Wireshark. So we've got that there. We've highlighted it. It brings up all of its, or at least some of its data down here. Not quite all of the raw data, but it is the majority of it. And so looking through, this is the message that we need to look at, and now we need to answer these following questions. And yeah, so now we're going to answer these questions. We're going to list 3 different protocols that appeared in the protocol, and we'll go ahead and stop the capture. And we'll go ahead and do this because we're going to answer this question number 1, which says list 3 different protocols that appeared in protocol column in the unfiltered packet listing window. So the packet listing window, we're going to change that back to no filter. So we're going to show all the different protocols, which you got our HTTP, which is the one that we're looking at mainly. And then you have TCP, QUIC, and DNS. And it looks like UDP. Those are more than 3, but those are kind of some different protocols that it's showing you. And then it says to look at how long it took to take from when the HTTP GET message was sent until the HTTP OK reply was received. And so we're going to go back in here and apply our filter. And there we go. And we're going to look right here, and we see this is when our request was made. This is when our request was made right here, and it's marked with the number in order that it was done. It's marked with the time that it was done from the start of the trace. You've got your IP address from the source, which is our IP address because we're sending that request. The destination is right here. They're going to be receiving our request and hopefully sending one back. So we can look at that and look at the times on these between these two, because this is the response from our Get Wireshark Labs, and it looks like I have not modified, or it looks like I've not cleared my cache. So actually, I am going to go ahead and do that real quick. The browsing data. You can delete cached. There we go. And now we're just going to start this again, just so we get a clean run on it. Back to 6, and we're gonna go ahead and run it. Boom, popped up immediately. So close that out. We're gonna stop it again and go look at what we got here, and see the cache was cleared. So my Wireshark request went out the same, but the return is different, whereas last time it was 300, so it was unmodified, or 301, and this time it's 200, which means, okay, the request was completed and returned. So we'll go back down here and continue answering our questions. So how long did it take from the time you sent the request, the GET request, to the time that you received the OK reply? And we can see the difference by looking up here. We go up, to our one. We got our Wireshark GET request, and it looks like it was executed at 15.474810 seconds, and the response was sent at 15.515988 seconds. So less than 0.1 seconds was the time in between for those specific ones. And so let's see. What is the internet address of gaius.cs.umass.edu? So this is the internet address. So if we want to look for this, we're going to look at our response that we got. And we're going to look at our hypertext transfer protocol. We're going to look down and see there is no address as far as, or there's the address. There's the actual internet address right there. And up here you can see the address, the IP address for the server that sent us the response, which is 128.119.245.12. And it says you can print the 2 HTTP messages. Yeah, you can do that by just coming up here or we'll go up here, highlight it, go to File, go to Print, And you can print from here. And basically, they don't want this. They want all this as displayed. Don't want the capture information header. We will do selected packets only. And so we could go up here and shift and click both of these, and we could print the selected packets, and that would print us out these this part right here. So that's kind of how that works. And so now that concludes part 2, or part 1. Sorry, now we're getting into part 2.